It said in The Prince, Niccolo Machiavelli, it is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Now that is a term very synonymous. Everyone has probably heard that. It's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Well, actually, you'd be surprised because there's some really fucking stupid and illiterate people who know nothing about historical literature or political theory or anything like that. But anyways, 1542, a guy named Niccolo Machiavelli writes one of the most revolutionary works of literature in all of history at this time. He writes The Prince. And in The Prince, the book is just simply about how a prince should conduct themselves, how to survive. And he always reiterates in The Prince that, well, what Machiavelli realized as a courtier is that he realized humanity is fucking wicked and evil. And people will always have their own best interest in mind. And you have to be very wary of even your innermost inner circle. You have to keep your inner circle very small. It's essentially a rule for how to survive for the courtier. Well, not for the court. Well, Machiavelli was a courtier. And that's the thing about Machiavelli in The Prince is you can't disprove what he said. He's many things, but Machiavelli is not a fucking liar. Many things he is, but he's not a liar. But you know who are liars? Humankind as a whole are fucking liars. We all wear masks each and every day, right? You have to go to work with your coworker that you secretly hate. Well, you're gonna wear a mask. You're gonna wear a mask around them. You're not gonna actually be your true self, right? You're gonna wear a mask whenever you're around them. You're gonna lie, manipulate them. And that's what every single person does. And children can pick up on this shit. Children are not friends with every adult, right? If children will not like an adult who's pretending to be, oh, you know, dude, I hate that shit. Anyways, that's what Machiavelli realized in The Prince, is that people lie. Even the people you thought are in your closest inner circle lie. Even the Bible talks about this in the book of Songs. Be wary of the individuals in whom which you call neighbor. Be wary of them. You can't trust fucking anybody. It sucks. And this is what things like The Prince helped people realize. Not just rulers, but the whole world as a whole, is that people will always have their own agenda in mind. You can never trust people. They will always use words and phrases to try and manipulate you. That's why detectives will play good cop, bad cop. That's why before you talk to someone, they're going to ask you all kinds of questions to get on your good side and try and be your friend so they can get you to drop your guard. And once you've dropped their guard, they're going to attack you relentlessly over and over because you've dropped your guard. They're not your friend. Nobody except for maybe like a small handful of people in this world are genuinely your friend. It would do you some damn good if you realize that people will always have their own agenda in mind. And once you no longer suit their interests and suit their need, they will not think twice to abandon you. Why do you think you had friends in high school? Everyone was so... Who in high school is still friends? Who in high school? All the cliques, all the groups, all of this, all of that. Who in school are still friends? Almost no one. And this is, of course... this of course translates to life in general. Who of all their old coworkers are still friends with all their old coworkers, right? It's just inevitable that we all eventually will go our own separate ways and live our own separate lives. Oh shit, I should have dodged into them. And live our own separate lives. And that's just the nature of the beast. That's just how reality works. But it would do you some good to build your walls high and not let anyone truly understand your true colors. And not even understand your true colors, I'm saying that not letting people get too close and know too much personal information about you. That's not a good thing to do. You think that people are, oh my gosh, you're so open and honest, and oh my gosh, so dude, people will use that same fucking things you told them against you for their own fucking agenda. It's horrible, dude. You think that people like pastors are exempt from this, dude? Pastors are some of the worst fucking manipulative people, church pastors, especially in the Baptist churches, man. They think that there's something because of all of their fucking authority and money that they get for free from fucking laundering and shit like that. Well, I don't know the intricacies and the ins and out of that, you know. But what I was trying to explain, I get sidetracked. I get my fucking certified yapper. The prince. It is better to be feared than loved. And so, there's a really negative connotation around Machiavellianism as a whole because people don't understand it. You know, people will make the 10-second TikTok clip about, oh my gosh, you met a Machiavellian, and they also this and that and this, and Machiavellians will only manipulate you. Dude, that's not fucking true. Like, actually read The Prince, more than just 2 pages or the back cover of it, and you would see that Niccolo Machiavelli constantly reiterates that it is imperative that a prince be virtuous. And Machiavelli even writes, you have to genuinely have a virtuous heart, a servant heart, and if you don't, at least pretend to have it. But he even says it's better to be a genuinely good person. But the prince teaches rulers how to survive in the courts, areas that were of nothing but deceitful, and even in the Turkish courts, dude, courting, being a courtier was a hard fucking job. The courtiers. And Machiavelli was a very esteemed, intelligent courtier. Oh my god, I died. A very esteemed, successful, and intelligent courtier. You know? And, you know, I think that the Machiavellians are so complex to understand because I don't even think most Machiavellians understand themselves. And not even in that, it's just that Machiavellians have to wear multiple masks each and every day. They have to match who you're speaking with, mirror who you're speaking with. And the thing is that this isn't even manipulation. This is how the real world fucking works, right? Everyone acts differently with everybody. And if you act the same with every single person, some people will find you condescending, some people will find you arrogant, some people will hate you. Very few people will like you. You might be thinking that you're being genuine, you're being this, you're being that. No, you have to match how you act based on whom you are speaking with. And that's how you fucking survive, right? I'm gonna let this guy... That's just human nature, man. These guys are both chasing me, but I'm gonna walk so this big guy didn't see me. And so this is the thing that Machiavelli writes about, and even Robert Greene and the 48 Laws of Power. And I will admit, dude, the 48 Laws of Power... the anecdotes are really good ways that Robert Greene proves what he's saying, because that's the thing about Machiavellianism as a whole is you can hate it, you can talk shit about it, you can talk shit about Machiavelli, Robert Greene, but you can't prove him wrong. What is one thing he said that was wrong? And prove it to me. That's the thing, Machiavellians understand human nature. And the saddest part is that most Machiavellians are genuinely good people, but they understand that humanity is fucking disgusting. I'm sorry, but humanity is fucking sick. And human nature is just that you have your best interests in mind. If you're lucky, your parents, your family has your best interest in mind, but that is very, very rare, you know what I mean? And especially... And yes, we no longer live in the days of courtiering and the courts and the nobles and the queens and the kings, but we do. Because your boss is in their own limelight a noble. If they're the company over, they're the king. The company owner, they're the king. And if they're the company owner and they're a woman, they're still a fucking king. Now, the people below them, the HR managers, this and that, they are the nobles and the bishops and the barons. They're still a high nobility. And underneath them, you have your knights, you know, your hard workers, and you have your pawns. The day has not changed. And now instead of fighting by force, man fights with law and with court policies and procedures. The rules have only ever changed, but the structure is still, when you really take it away, brick by brick, part by part, it's still the same. We still have kings and queens and nobles. And that's not even a product of capitalism, socialism, communism. Regardless, there's still going to be kings and queens no matter what. This is not in my opinion, fiscal kind of issue. It's not a fiscal thing per se. You know, I firmly believe that it simply has to do with human nature. Because human nature always has hierarchies. There will always have, even, let's say that we have one company where everyone has the same job title. Well, there's still going to be one person that does this better than this person. And one person that does this better than this person. And when you need help with something, who are you going to call? You're going to call the person that does this better than this person. Because they have more skilled. And so therefore, by design, because you're going to call this person, how many other people are going to call that person when they need something specifically done? Multiple other people. So that already puts them in a hierarchical position of leadership, whether they're aware or not. That's why those people who are good as fuck and work hard at things, damn good at things, that's why they get rewarded for their hard work. That's why they become managers. It's not a bad thing. It's just human nature. So it'll do you some good to either adapt to this and learn how to play the game, or whine about it and complain and be a fucking victim. That's just the way the world works. And I'm sorry, you can hate it, you can be angry at it, you can detest it, you can be mad, sad, glad, whatever. But the only thing you can truly do is live through it. That's it. That's all you can truly do. And so I do heavily subscribe personally to Machiavellianism, because I think that an individual who genuinely understands the prince, it means you genuinely, if you're a Machiavellian, you understand human nature. And you're not bitter at human nature, you're not angry at it. Because the ones who are angry at human nature, who are bitter at human nature, those are your narcissists. Those are your psychopaths. Those are your victims. Those are your school shooters. Those are your rapists. Those are your murderers. Those people who see the darkness and they're so angry that this is how the world works, that they take that anger out on other people. Yes, that is an awful thing to do, an evil thing to do, and those are genuinely evil people. But Machiavellians, in my opinion, are not evil people. Yes, they're on the dark triad scale, because a Machiavellian's core goal is to win. But if a Machiavellian's not going to hurt you, there's no reason for them to hurt you. They're not going to hurt you. And the scary thing about a Machiavellian is that they can threaten your life, threaten to kill you. And then, quite literally, a couple seconds later, they can be your best friend. That's the scary thing about the Machiavellians, is these multiple masks they wear. And this is why they're so hard to understand, because they have multiple masks. It's very, very rare a Machiavellian will let someone know everything about them, their true goal. Even their inner circle don't know that they're in the presence of a Machiavellian. They all say, who is this guy? Why is this person so unique, so different? There's something about this person that's just different. And you can never put your finger on it. But that pulls you in, and that intrigues you. Oh, wow. But that, pulls you in and intrigues you. I'm going to take a break for a second and check my phone.